Do the welcome friends yet because my ribbon comes tomorrow. Then I can do it. So we'll be doing it really soon. It won't be long at all. Okay. I don't know why it's still showing. Anyways, hopefully y'all are doing well tonight. And are we ready to do some Valentines? I'm going to tell you what. Valentine's has been selling like hotcakes for me this year. Every single thing I have that's Valentine's, it's all gone. All of it gone. Alright, so we're cutting all these at 30 inches. Okay. So I cut it at 30 inches. It has 2 colors of mesh. So let's kind of get down here. Alright, so we have the red with the white snow detail and the pink with the white snow detail. These are some of my favorite mesh. I love the snow mesh. It's kind of messy, but I like it. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you got your signs. Okay, skip. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, so we have a pink base here. So I'm just gonna, it's a 15-inch base. I'm gonna open up the ties. These are the big ties. They didn't have my favorite one. My favorite is the long, thin ties. I just like them because they're longer. There's really no other reason. And they're a little less expensive. So I think that's kind of, yeah, Happy New Year, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to alternate 30-inch ruffles. I don't know what my boys are doing in there. They're such characters. Okay. So it's going to go straight up the center and do a ruffle. If you're ever using mesh that has a tendency to fray on it, just tuck the edges under. That's all you have to do. Let's do it this way. Okay. So place it down. If you're having trouble doing ruffles, put something nice and heavy on the other end. It really helps a lot because it'll keep the mesh from going back and forth like this as you're going up to do it. And all I do is put my thumbs in the back and use my fingers and my thumbs to kind of push it forward. So you can see I'm gathering with my fingers and I'm pushing with my thumb, just like that. And you'll end up with a little bow tie. Then we place it down. They are gigantic ties. Now I like my wreaths to be full, so I will pull my ruffles up just like this. And then we'll put some ribbons on. So we have a red ribbon with Valentine's writing on it, and we have a pink one with Valentine's writing on it. Then we have this awesome truck one, and this is one of my favorites. It has the little red swirls on it. It's pretty. So we're just going to fold it over, pinch right where we folded it. Yes, ruffle method is quick. We just kind of run our hands underneath it to get that little curve. Then tie it on. Trim off these big old ties because they're just going to get in our way. And then I will stretch it out towards the front. That, and kind of bend it over. Can you hear Ross in there? That's so funny. Happy New Year. Yeah, you want to see the sign? Okay. Alright, so this is the sign. See, it says mail me a kiss. So the the kit had this one with the light pink. There is a sign and ribbon set in my shop that is just like this, except it has a darker pink and a little bit different ribbons. Okay, so I'm just tuck that under and then pull these out. And I do alternate my ribbons. Pull them out like that. This is the best way to get your pictures taken with your ribbons pulled out. I told my group that today. Okay. So you just pull it out, set something heavy down. This is cut at 30 inches. So 30 inches is really a great method because it's nice and full and it's really a big, nice ruffle, and you don't have to cut as much. So it cuts down on the fraying. If you want to do a wreath with wool, you just cut them at 20 inches instead of 30. Yeah. Alright, so straight up. See how I'm pushing with my thumbs and I'm pulling back. I'm gathering with my fingers is what I'm doing. Did you ever do that thing in high school where you took the paper and you did like the little gathering thing? That's what it reminds me of. It's just like that. When you were in high school and you did the paper and you gathered it up. It's the same thing. Same concept. Alright. To fluff it out, you just take the two pieces and you just kind of pull them and let them ruffle together. So someone's asking how they can redo a wreath that's been smashed. Is the mesh smashed or is it the ribbon? If the mesh is smashed, it's a little bit harder. What method was used? If it's poofs, it's not that bad. You can stick something under it like paper to plump it back up. If it's ruffles, it can be a little bit more difficult. But I would give it a little time to see how it kind of come out. Yes, like accordion, exactly. This is deco mesh with the snow detail in it. One I think is snow ball and the other one is snow drift. So the snow drift is the one with the straight line and the snow ball is the one that almost looks like it has little snowballs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, this is how you do your kit. Well, it's one way. I was thinking about recording several different videos on the ways that you can do my kits so that y'all didn't have to wait until I do them live. What do y'all think about that? Would you like me to do that? Because I usually have different suggestions of what you can do, but they're just that. They're suggestions. Thank you for stars. So you really just have to do what you feel like, what kind of method you like, what you're comfortable with. No, I don't have, y'all, I still haven't gotten all my stuff out, so I don't have any of my Valentine's stuff unpacked yet. Except my ribbon. Just the ribbon. Okay, I'll be happy to do that. That way y'all don't have to wait on me. I know, I was talking to Casey about it the other day. Oh, and it turned a new month. So there is a new Wreath of the Month out. And just so y'all understand, you can either do it as a subscription or a one-time deal. I do have it both ways. It is, do I still have the sign out here? No, it's a bicycle sign. Yes, I have new kits stocked in, and we are working on another one, and we are getting more ribbon tomorrow. And we just listed a whole bunch of new signs. Yes, we did. We were sign busy last week. Okay. Can you do ruffles with 21 inch? Yes, you can. It's a little bit different process. I would be happy to do a video. I have a video, but it's old, so I'll have to do an updated one. There's a lot of methods you can do with 21 inch mesh too. Okay. So, place this one down. And when I place them down, I always ruffle it against the one before it. And of course the one after it. On the last one, you have to do both sides. You need help with grapevine wreaths? The only reason I haven't done grapevine wreaths on here is because they don't really generally do as well for me. But I can do some for sure. Okay. There we go. So see how I just spread it out. The best way is just to pull them up, spread them out, and just let the ruffles do the work for you. So then you don't have to fight with it. Just let it do its own thing. Okay, so with an Etsy shop, if you want to open your Etsy shop, you're asking how many you start with. So the rule of thumb is to start with 5 projects, okay? So you want 5 things to list. And then you really, really need to list on a consistent basis. So, of course, nobody can do every day, especially in the beginning. But you could do once a week. So make sure you're active because Etsy's going to see that. I do have a book on how to open your Etsy shop. I do. I have a couple other ebooks planned here pretty soon. But first, I have to get through the YouTube stuff. We're about to start over the YouTube training. Okay. It'll be a little bit different this year because it's course-based, which means There'll be one with just the course and then another one that has a Facebook group and Zoom calls. Well, it's just two different options for the same thing. Yeah. That's what I mean. Okay. Alright, so if you can tell, I do two and then I put on the ribbon. You need an ebook on getting confidence up. I'm going to tell you that the imposter syndrome, that's what you're talking about, it's awful. What you need is a community of people who will tell you it's okay. That's what you need. And you need to realize that that's just fear talking. And you can't let fear win. You've just got to, listen, nothing's going to happen unless you try, unless you start. So you just got to start. Because here's the big truth about business. The big truth about business is that you have to be willing to hang on and overcome obstacles, because that's what you're going to face. You're going to face obstacles. You just have to realize that that's totally normal and that you just have to be willing to face them. And if you do that and you stick with it, you'll get there. You also have to realize that nothing happens overnight. It takes time, it takes energy, and it takes effort. As long as you're okay with that stuff, you can do it. It's just better to understand that that stuff's going to happen. Awesome. I'm going to tell you what's funny is I get deliveries and stuff here, and people come in here and they look at this and they say, you make a living doing this? Yep, I sure do. Don't let people steal your thunder, because it's not theirs to steal. It's yours. Okay, so I'm going to open up the top. Because we're going to start on that. This one feels a little loose, but I think it's okay. We'll see when we get to it. Alright. They will. They'll be like, you can't do that. And you just say, yes, I can. So that's the most important thing to me in my group, is that we support each other. Because I feel like you can learn stuff in so many different places, in so many different groups. But what you really need is the support, the community aspect that will help you when you're struggling with stuff. And that's what we have. And that's what I want it to be. Because that's important. You need that truck ribbon. Isn't it cute? I love it. I love it, I love it. Okay. What I usually do when I'm doing kits is I will go out and I will find the cutest stinking ribbon, just the one that I really love, and then everything in the wreath is designed around that. Okay, so when your ties are loose like that, I just put a zip tie on them, and that usually fixes it. It does happen. You get them and the ties are loose, ties are what work best for me. Okay, so on the top, I want to stretch the ribbon out in an X. I like the larger ribbon to go here, just because there's more room for it. That ruffle will kind of mess with your ribbon, so it's better if the smaller ribbon is going in that direction. Okay, so I do not sell wreaths with shipping included. I do not. Honestly, it does not help you sell wreaths. If you sell local, you can sell on Square, attach it to your Etsy, and you can still get credit for the sale, and you don't have to deal with the shipping. Yep. Okay. Let's put this over here. We're starting to get kind of big. I tell you, Amazon Handmade is overlooked a lot. So Etsy is not the only place that's a marketplace that you can list. Don't forget Amazon Handmade's out there. I'm getting ready to start back with my business tips, so I'll do one on both. The frame is 15 inches, and the mesh is cut at 30 inches, and the ribbon at 12. Do y'all know how many 30-inch pieces you can get out of one roll of 10-yard mesh? I'll tell you what a math geek I am. You know, I had to sit down and calculate that. That's why I'm a CPA, because math is my jam. When did I know I could do it full time? So I use, I have a calculator that I created that calculates my break-even point. And so what I did is I put how much I needed to make in it. And then I figured out how many I had to sell. So then I worked towards that goal, just that goal. And then when I got to that point, I knew I could quit. Alrighty. Yeah, you just need a plan. It's really not. You don't have to have a full-blown business plan. You just need to at least know what you need to sell to get there. That's what makes it easier. That's all. I know I love this mesh too. It's one of my favorites. Okay. I knew what you meant. I have some fun wreath kits planned this year. I wanted to quit my job so bad too. Y'all know I was chief financial officer and a chief operating officer at a hospital, so I made very good money, which was great for my family, but here I had 2 children and my parents, and I was trying to do this very big, busy job and take care of my parents and my children, and it was just way too much. I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't be a good mom and daughter and a good employee. So I was very good at my job, but my job kept having to come first, and that kind of did it for me. So I had to come up with a new plan. Luckily, I'm a CPA and I've been running businesses for years, so I knew what to do. It was the social media part I had to learn. Business stuff was no problem. Social media, that was different. But it was worth it. The bee one I did the other day, that sign is on my shop. We are going to do a bee kit this year. Very soon, actually. So, there will be a bee one. I'm just waiting for them to get some ribbon in that I'm waiting on. Oh, and we're going to do, so this month's Wreath of the Month kit is the bicycle. It's spring. Next month is going to be lemons, and it's yellow, black, and white. Oh my gosh, and the ribbon, the lemon ribbon is, oh, it is so cute. That's why we're doing the lemon, because I found that ribbon and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's why I like being able to do my own signs, because I can pick the whole thing based on what's trending, what looks good, what's cute. Oh, thank you. This is a ruffle method. This is a 30-inch ruffle. Y'all, back when I first started doing, oh, thank you. When I first started doing it, back then, you would take 3 10-inch pieces and you would stack them together. And I kept doing that, and it was just driving me crazy because the mesh was always fraying, and it just drove me nuts. And I saw somebody do a 20-inch ruffle, and then it just popped in my head, oh my gosh, why am I cutting 3? I can just do 30 inches. So that was the end of 10-inch ruffles. I don't think I've ever done another one. Hi, Sophia and Charlie. Yeah, we're going to do some stuff with the 6-inch mesh too, don't worry. And we have 8-inch frames. We're going to do something with those. There's a lot of things you can do with the 6-inch. My favorite is to do curls, because it looks really great. My mom found this thing in a magazine, and she wants me to recreate it. So I have one little surprise thing we're going to be doing soon. I have to go and get the supplies, which means a trip to Sam's. A square wreath frame. Okay. Yeah, the only difference between this kind of ruffle and the pancake is with this one, we're pulling the ruffles up. With the pancake, you spread them out and make them flat so that it can fit in a storm door. There we go. Okay, so you can see all the ruffles and all the ribbon. Ooh, look how full that is. See that? Okay. So the sign, usually when I have round signs. I'll either do it in the center or I'll do it on the side and put a bow on the other side. But we can do whichever. So let's punch a hole in the side. Here we go. Alright. I do about 20 inches of 26 gauge wire. This is my favorite because it just hides so well. Like you really can't see it once you put it in. But it's strong enough to hold. Yeah, I like full wreaths. Not that I don't make ones that aren't, but it's just my favorite. Just my personal favorite. Alright. So, what I like to do is pull the wire through, and then I'll double it up and just kind of twist it here at the bottom. That way it's stronger. But since it's this silver wire, you really can't see it. It's very hard to see. Like in the middle. I have the hole punches in my shop. It's just HardworkingmomShop.com. You want side and you want middle. Whew, hold on, I'm getting thirsty. All right, let's do a bow. Who feels like doing a bow? Let's get out our 4-in-1. Okay. Oh, y'all, you want to hear something exciting? I was getting the last little bits of stuff out of my old warehouse before I got this warehouse that we're working in. And I found another 4-in-1. I was so excited. Alright, so this time I kind of want to do a smaller bow. Alright, so, and we have lots of patterns, so we'll get to practice on patterns. And I want to do the 3-loop bow, the Lisa bow, and I want to put the, so I have 7 inches. I'm going to put the tails on either side, okay? Alright, here we go. So we're going to do 6 inches, right there. So I just measure right here on the board, 6 inch. I am twisting in the middle. So I just bring it down and then I twist it once it's in here. Okay. I probably need to put the white on the bottom because I'm thinking this isn't going to show up very well if we don't. So what I can do is just stick it in my bow dabber. We'll grab it in a minute. Okay. So start off. Start off with our truck. I need to. I keep meaning to talk to Regina about that. Okay. So 6 inch. Here we go. We're going to do a trick today. Alright. So 6 inch. Alright, now, this is what I want you to see. Which way are the trucks going? Do you see this truck is facing this way, this truck is facing that way? Well, I hate that. So what you do is you pick up the entire piece and you flip it over. Just like that. You don't want to do it until you have made that loop. I'll show you another way with the next ribbon. So on the last one, I'm not going to twist it because I'm just going to pull it out and trim off So I want one tail on this side, one tail on this side. Make sure it's in the frame. Alright, so now I can put this one on. So we have two tails on this side, so I want the tails to go on this side. Okay, so you see how I pull the tails out? So we have the 2.5 with the truck, and then we have the 2.5 with the swirl. Alright, now we're going to do this one. So this one we're going to do in our hand. We're going to do like maybe a 12-inch tail, because these we can curl up, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in between my finger and my thumb, right in here. I'm going to measure out to the 12. That is a 6-inch loop. I'm going to take this, I'm going to go underneath, and I'm going to just put it in my hand right here. Okay, here's the important part. I am not putting it on top or on bottom, I'm just sticking it in there. It's basically sitting next to that one. I can measure this, 0 to 12. Okay, this one comes across, so it's over. So on the side where the ribbon, where the pretty side is showing, you go under. On the side where the pretty side is not showing, you go over. On the side where the pretty side is showing, you go under. It's like a figure 8. So it's under, over, just like that. Alright, so I want my tails to go to this side. So we'll just flip it. Just kind of make sure everything's there. I'm in the middle. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's do the other one. It also has writing on it. There's just one of each. It's because you said bike earlier, so I saw that. Now I'm saying bike. Alright, so same thing. Okay, so the first one went under. The next one is going over. And you can see I'm just sticking it in my hand. You see? You can pull them in the middle to make sure they match. Okay. This next one I will just match to this same ribbon here. Like that. Okay, and then we can trim this off. And we want the tails to go on this side. One thing I like about doing the 3-loop bow, the Lisa bow, is that you're going to get a bigger bow without as much ribbon. So if you don't have as much ribbon to use, go to this bow, because it's going to look nice and full when it actually uses less ribbon. Yes, you need a federal ID. Okay, so I'm going to put my zip tie under the entire piece, and I want to make sure that I have my tails in, because remember I have tails on this side and tails on this side. Okay. I just want to get it enough to get it out of the bow maker. Okay. Alright, now, here we go. Alright, I'll get out the pipe cleaner. Now, when I'm turning my zip tie around, I like to hold on to one side, and I'm looking to see where that indentation is. So I'm making sure it's going where I want it. Then I'll just kind of generally make sure everything's where I want it to be. Then I can put my pipe cleaner in. Make one last check. So I just want to make sure none of my loops have come out. All of my tails are still going, whoops, where I want them. So see, I want them on each side. Yep, that looks good. Alright, so tighten that up. So when I do these, I leave the zip tie on, and I'll grab both pieces of the pipe cleaner, and I'll use these 3 pieces to hold in my hand to fluff. I did find my fluff box, so I'll get it over here and I'll show y'all how to do this stuff on the fluff box, but for now we'll just use our hands. Alright, so I'm starting with the bottom, and I break the bow by twisting and pulling. So twist and pull, twist and pull, twist and pull. You always want to start from the bottom. Think of it like layers, right? So if you were making a layer cake, you can't do the top layer until you have the bottom layers done. Okay, we can trim that off. You see how cute the Lisa bow is? And I always have ribbon left over when I do it with this way. Alright, so I put the white on the bottom so that you could see it a little bit better. If you can really see where that zip tie is, which I can see, you can take a piece of your leftover ribbon, fold it in on itself, so you're just making a smaller piece, and then you just tie it around. So you just want enough to tie it on. It's just going to cover that zip tie, and you can trim that off. So see, now you can't tell there's a zip tie. Okay. Now this is what comes with the kit, but you can always add more ribbon or different ribbon in the bow. You can add stuff to the wreath itself. You could add florals. You could add little hearts or anything like that. They usually have some really cute stuff at the Dollar Tree you could add on. Let's open this up. So don't feel like you can't add additional stuff on, because you can. And you can always find, if you're trying to be thrifty, you can always find stuff at the Dollar Tree. Alright, so now we're going to take these and we're going to curl them up. So you can curl it straight up and then just gently pull it out. So watch, just like this, straight up the center, kind of loosely, then you just grab this little piece in the middle and pull it out. You can also curl at an angle. Okay. Let's see, the reason I like doing the tails on either side is because it makes the bow look so much larger than it is. It's almost like a spider. So when you're doing the drama bow, you have all the tails coming down, right? And so it covers like half of the wreath and it has that drama. But this, to me, is almost like a spider. So it spreads out and it makes it look much bigger. Alright. So now all we have to do is get the sign on. I'll kind of put the sign on the side almost towards the center. I have tied it one on each end. I'm just going to move my mesh, go down to the frame, and I'll kind of hide it and then tie it right onto the frame. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Now, if you see these frames, sometimes they say 15 to 24. What that means is that the frame itself is 15 inches. But when you get the mesh on it, it will be 24 inches. So that's what that means when you see that. So don't get confused when you're looking at these frames, because they'll say 15-24. That's all that it means. So see, if I measure this out now, we're at 24 inches. But the actual frame itself is 15. So if you're doing one with a Dollar Tree frame, you know, you'll start out with 14 inches and you'll get out to about 22. So with the 15, you get out to about 24. Thank you. To poke holes through the wood, I usually use my hole punch, my hole puncher. The only thing about, you got to be careful with the Dollar Tree signs is that they may not be suited for outside. So you may need to seal it. All right, there we go. It's all on. Whoops. It's always backwards for me, so I had to figure out which way to put it so you can see it. Okay, so you can see, there's the sign, there's the bow. Let's fix this. There we go. See how full that is? Look at that. That's full, isn't it? Thank you. I'm glad you like them. See, you can't see a thing. Can't see the frame. Awesome. Thank you. I know I was ready for just anything besides Christmas. Y'all, about this time of year, it's just like, you just get so tired of Christmas and it's just like, I cannot do one more Christmas. It's exciting when you get to start doing something with some other colors, like pinks and blues, and just love it. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all like it. Awesome. All right, so on Wednesday, I will do the welcome friends kit from December/January. Thank you. To buy wholesale ribbon, you have to sign up for a retail license. You just need to check your Secretary of State website. Yep, I design the signs, I do. Yep. Wonderful. Thank y'all for joining me, and I will be back Wednesday at 9. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed or liked my page, please do that. All right, and y'all have a wonderful night. And I am going to take my boys to McDonald's because they're always so patient waiting on Mommy while she is doing her live. They're good boys. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you, Diane.